We already did one input parameter together. This was the code for the calculate price method that was already included in the instructor notes. Now let's do the case of two input parameters. In the submit order method, we want to call calculate price quantity, 10, where 10 represents $10 per cup of coffee. So let's first make this change. In the submit order method, I'm going to call calculate price quantity and then comma 10. I'm passing in two arguments to this method. There's an error because it doesn't match the method signature here, and I'm about to update that. Inside the parentheses, I'm going to add a comma and then type in int price because we're passing in price as the second input, and that's an integer. Immediately, it says that there's an error because it doesn't match the method signature here, which only has one input parameter. I'm going to change it so that it has a second input parameter. So inside this opening and closing parentheses, I'm going to add a second parameter. Since this is the price per cup of coffee, I'm going to call it price per cup, and it's a number, so I'm going to say that the data type is int. The name of the parameter type can be anything you want. It should be descriptive to the information that it's holding, whereas the data type needs to be a specific Java data type, so int, string, and other ones that we haven't learned yet. I also updated the Java doc to describe this second input parameter. When I look inside this method, we're taking quantity and multiplying it by 5 for $5 per cup of coffee, but now the price per cup has changed to a variable. So let's use price per cup instead of hard-coding the value 5. Now the total price of the order is going to be quantity times price per cup. If you think back to the template analogy that I was talking about earlier, now quantity and price per cup are swappable for different values because they're input parameters. You could call calculate price with a different quantity and a different price per cup, and this computation would still work. Now let's do the case of zero input parameters. In the submit order method, we should call calculate price with empty parentheses. In the submit order method, when I call calculate price, I'm going to remove the arguments. Now we don't pass any inputs into this method. There's a red underline immediately because there's a mismatch with the method signature. So I'm going to go ahead and erase all these input parameters. This is also complaining about an error because these parameters don't exist, so I can go ahead and delete this. Now we get an error saying that it can't resolve the symbol price per cup. It's no longer an input variable, so we need to switch back to the hard-coded price value, which is $5, or you could pick any other price. The computer doesn't complain about quantity because it's actually a global variable, and you can reference this quantity variable from any method in the main activity. Sorry, I should have picked a name other than quantity for the input parameter, but you get the idea. Without any input parameters, you can only refer to global variables, you can use hard-coded values, or if you create local variables here, you can refer to those.